In this video, we're going to be solving a problem using the Pythagorean theorem. So the question says, use the Pythagorean theorem to find C when we know that A equals 5 and B equals 12 for this given triangle ABC. Now, to use the Pythagorean theorem, we need to have a triangle. It needs to be a right angle triangle, and this symbol here indicates that it is a right angle triangle. We need to be given two sides, and we were. We know side A, we know side B. So we need to solve for C. Now, C is our hypotenuse, okay? So the hypotenuse is the line that is opposite of the right angle. Okay, so the first thing we're going to need to do is we need the Pythagorean theorem, okay? So the Pythagorean theorem states that a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Okay, now these line up with what we have going on here in our triangle. Okay, so the Pythagorean theorem states that if we square the two sides, the opposite and the adjacent sides, not the hypotenuse, and we add those two together, so here we have a squared plus b squared, they're going to equal the hypotenuse squared. Okay, so in this case, we have a squared plus b squared is going to equal c squared. We don't know c. We're trying to find c. Okay, so what we can do is we can take the values that we were given, a equals 5 and b equals 12. We can substitute them directly into this formula we have. We'll isolate for c and we'll solve for it. Okay, so let's substitute in. So we know a is 5, and that's got to be squared. We're going to add that to b. That's also going to be squared, so that's 12 squared. And that's going to equal c squared. Okay, let's go ahead and simplify this left-hand side first, and then we'll start moving things around. So 5 squared, this is 25. We're going to add that to 12 squared. 12 squared is 144. And that's all going to equal c squared. So 25 plus 144 equals 169. And that equals c squared. Now, in order to just find c, right, we don't want to know what c squared is. We want to know what c is. We're going to need to take the square root of both sides, okay? So if we take the square root of both our left and our right-hand side, we're going to end up with 13 on the left, and on the right, we're going to equal c. Now, one thing I want to mention, when we take the square root of a number, technically, we could have either the positive or the negative version of that number. Now, I didn't write down the negative here as an option, and there's a reason. We're looking for the length of something, okay? This is not on a number line. This is not on a graph. I'm just looking for the length. So my length can't be negative, okay? My length is just a quantity. It's just a number value, and that's why we ignore the negative in this case, okay? So we'll just take the square root. We're only interested in the positive answer. So our answer is c equals 13. Now, I'm sure you've noticed I have my c on the right-hand side and I have my 13 on the left-hand side. It doesn't matter in math, okay? We can isolate this way. We can also rewrite it and just flip them, okay? Now, we didn't change the sign of either side of this equation because we just reversed it, okay? So both sides moved. So because of that, we didn't need to change the sign, okay? We can write this answer either way. 13 equals c or c equals 13. It means exactly the same thing. However, with math and math conventions, so just the way things are done in math, we usually want to place our unknown variable, in this case c, on the left-hand side, and then the value, the solution that we found, onto the right-hand side. So our answer for this problem is c equals 13. If you would like to learn how to quickly study for your GED exam online and get a new resume, then visit testprepskills.com.